With me, Angela Morabito, Ben Wikler, and Brian Pruitt. And let's get back to it. When it comes to tax policies, Hillary Clinton gave the media a nice, neat soundbite to describe Donald Trump's proposals.
You have what is called now the Trump loophole, because it would so advantage you and the business you do. You've proposed an approach that has a $4 billion tax benefit for your family. And when you look at what you are proposing, it is, as I said, trumped up trickle down. Trickle down did not work.
And Trump himself declares that his tax cuts would be the largest since Reagan. The mainstream media has played that soundbite all day long, but no one has bothered to discuss what another era of trickle-down economics would actually mean. Reaganomics set the stage for the disappearance of the American middle class, led to families working more hours for lower pay, the massive levels of economic inequality that we now have. Tax Policy Center estimates that Trump's tax cuts would gut federal revenue by $9.5 trillion and add $11.2 trillion to our debt. It would also cut revenues from GDP by 4%, nearly twice what we lost under Reagan. So shouldn't Trump's proposals raise multiple red flags for middle and working class people and be reason enough to vote for anyone but Trump? Brian?
This was an absolute mistake on her part. This is where she kind of got into the weeds of tax policy. What she should have done was spent her entire rest of the debate when he admitted not paying taxes. I would have spent the rest of my time talking about that. Every single word out of my mouth would have been, Donald Trump just acknowledged not paying federal income tax. Because no one understands trillions in debt, and all your description was very articulate, but that's not what middle Americans really focus on. What they focus on is this really rich guy never paid his fair share.
But actually, don't you think a lot of Republican middle Americans are going to say, oh, he's a smart guy, I wish I could do that?
Absolutely not. I don't think that's the way. I think you're selling middle America Republicans very short. Yeah. I think middle America Republicans want to pay their fair share. They want to pay the lowest amount of tax legally allowed, but they always believe in paying their fair share.
Interesting.
I have to say, MoveOn.org made a video with Elizabeth Warren. I'm sorry to jump in. I don't want to be Trump. We made a video with Elizabeth Warren. We asked her what she wanted to talk about Donald Trump. And she said, I want to talk about him not paying his taxes. And she made this video where she said, look, when he says he's not paying his taxes, that means you're paying taxes for the roads to his buildings. You're paying taxes for the fire services that come and put out fires when his buildings catch fire. You're paying taxes for educating his workforce. We are all subsidizing Donald Trump's entire fortune by paying taxes. His contempt for the public that he's not paying his share for the country that made him rich is exactly the problem. It goes to the heart of his character and the flaws in his political vision. And that video has been seen 22 million times. It's just exploded. I think this is an incredibly potent issue.
Well, it actually even goes a step beyond that, because it's not just that he's not paying personal income taxes. The New York Times has documented that he got over, what, $700 million worth of tax breaks from various counties and towns and cities by saying, I'll put a building here if you give me a $100 million tax break. And, you know, so we're actually not just subsidizing his lack of payment, we're actually giving him money. Yeah. I mean, it's bizarre. Angela?
Right. Well, Donald Trump is not the only person in America who's done that. That doesn't make it right, but he's a businessman and he was acting in his own self-interest. I don't think middle America is really interested in, I know that I'm parsing the details of Donald Trump's tax returns. What they heard and what I heard from last night's debate, that was, you know who pays zero taxes? When a factory or a whole company or a manufacturing plant leaves the United States to go somewhere else, they pay zero taxes. And those jobs are gone too. And I think that message resonates. So yeah, I mean, Trump looked like very self-interested, and I don't doubt that he is by not, you know, going to try to pay his income tax. But if he doesn't have to, he didn't. Who would say, oh, you know, I don't have to pay that tax, but I think I will anyway? He knows the system is rigged. I'm not doubting that it is. He knows that the system is rigged because he has lived through it and he has used it to his own advantage. That's, you know, might seem really immoral, but I think most people would.
You think politically that's an okay thing?
I think politically it sounds bad, but politically more people are not concerned about Donald Trump's money. They're concerned about their own, and they're concerned about their own jobs.
Yeah, I think you may well be.